Hi guys! So I have been reviewing makeup, skincare and all that stuff, right? But actually there's another thing that I absolutely love, which is movies. And so in today's video is the first time ever that I'm going to review a movie. But then again, actually this time it's not really a movie, but it's more like a TV series. So anyway, I'm actually sitting on my bed, so sorry. The TV series that I'm actually going to talk about today is Ratched. So Ratched actually just released like since last week. I don't remember, but it was very new. Like, it's a really new TV series from Netflix. And so I actually don't subscribe to Netflix, but because of Ratched, I subscribe to Netflix again. So I subscribed for 1 month just to watch Ratched. When I see the trailer, I feel like it's very interesting, so I don't mind paying just to watch Ratched. So the character Mildred Ratched is actually an original character from this novel called One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. Nurse Ratched is basically portraying as someone who is like, I'm not sure if evil is like the perfect word to describe her, but she has been kind of being captured as a villain, as someone who is evil. And the reason why is because she kind of sometimes like bullies people, and then she's very controlling. She has to get what she wants, especially she is the head nurse in a mental hospital. So like, you know how mental hospital patients are, they are fragile mentally. So she kind of seen as a villain because she uses their fragility, is that to kind of control them. The thing about her as a villain is that she's not really a villain that's like very mean, do any kind of violence, and then like maybe screaming, yelling or something like that. No, she's not like that. The weird thing about her is that the words that she speaks actually is not, they're not mean, like they're not evil, but it's kind of more like the context when she said it, where she said it, like what actually happened, and then of course combined with her like very cold straight face when she say it, and sometimes she smiles a little bit, but her smile is like super creepy. I don't know, in my opinion she doesn't really have mercy for people. That's kind of what I say. But in the Netflix TV series Ratched, it's actually kind of contradictory. So in that series, the Ratched in that series actually shows a whole lot more emotion than the one in One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. The character, in my opinion, I see it's like kind of very different, probably because of course that's the younger version of Ratched, and it's actually talking about why she's like that. So that's kind of like the prequel of the one in One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. Alright, so actually the main character is Sarah Paulson. Of course I love her from the American Horror Story. I think she's really a great actress, and in this TV series I absolutely love the costume design, the color especially. I just love the color. It has a really interesting color, and I love the vibrancy of the color, and they just everything goes so well together. And most of the color, of course, they carry meanings. I mean, in all other movies and TV shows which are produced professionally, all of the colors in the scene, like the color palette in particular scene, they do have like certain meanings. They wanted to convey certain emotions. So what do I think about this TV series now that I have finished it? So anyway guys, spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched it and you don't like spoiler, please stop watching this, like immediately just go away. What I absolutely love about this is of course the fact that it's kind of picturing Ratched as someone who's like, she has been through a lot, and in my opinion, when I see what she had been through, there's really a lot of bad things, and it's kind of just all of it is just bad things. Like, she just keeps getting bad things over and over again ever since she was very small. Like when she's in the foster system, she always gets like the abusive foster parents, and then she keep going to the child service or something, but then again, like, she always get abused by the next foster parents and all that. The only thing that probably makes her happy, that is good that is happening in her life that is good. It's probably her brother Edmund. So actually in this movie we learned that Edmund is actually not her brother. Like Edmund is basically just a stranger that she met, and then so since they are abused together, that is why he become her brother. So they stick together. They're very, very close to the point that they become brother and sister. And then so that is why the only thing in that series that motivates her is her brother. That is why she is willing to go to the hospital, work as a nurse there, and then of course while she works as a nurse she also will do anything just to, you know, like be free with her brother. And of course her brother is in jail because he murdered 4 priests. He's not technically like in jail, but he is in a sense physically he's imprisoned in this mental hospital that she is going to work at. So in this series we see a lot of like, what I see in Ratched is that she's actually more of a merciless, and I guess it's like overly ambitious person. So she will do anything, like absolutely anything at all to get what she wants, which is kind of the character in the later on kind of Ratched, you know. So in Netflix Ratched, it is also mentioned, it is also pictured that, you know, she used to be a war nurse, and then she would like she would kill her patients because they are in so much pain. Like she don't kill them because for fun. She's not like a psycho or a mean person or an evil person. So I would definitely not describe her as evil at all. But then again, like I said, she is just ambitious and she is merciless. When she was in a war as a war nurse, she basically just, you know, like kill the army because they are in so much pain, they are very, very heavily like hurt. So she thought like, let's just end their pain and just kill them instead. So in the whole time she was actually working there, we see a lot of dynamics. So we see like she's from the bottom here, and then she climb onto the top, and she become the head nurse eventually. She basically lie all the time. Like she gets the job because she lied. She faked the letter, she faked the signature. The way she tried to be on top is basically to know people's information, to know about people's weakness. And for example, when she wanted to be head nurse, she basically get it by blackmailing her boss to like, if you don't make me a nurse, head nurse, I'm gonna do something, or maybe I'm gonna leak your secrets and stuff like that. But then eventually she leaked the secrets anyways. And the funny thing is that the moment that I feel like she's merciless, there are some scenes that I feel like, wait, I think I was wrong. Like I think she has mercy on other people, but that kind of confused me. Like, so is she a merciless person or she is not? Because sometimes she kills people, and so to me I find that kind of contradictory. Like she's kind of selective who she wants to be merciless to. If that person interferes with her plan, or it's trying to make her not getting what she wants, then that's probably the time when she's gonna be merciless. But then when that person doesn't have anything to do with her wants or needs, then she's like have the feeling for them. And she's very, very intelligent, so she planned everything kind of like an accident and stuff. So, and I find that really, really like, okay, that like actually she's not only evil but also smart. So that's pretty dangerous. And of course the thing that I absolutely love about this movie is that it has kind of like those I don't know what to call it. Is it like spin-off or side characters? The side characters absolutely lovable. There are some great endings, like for example when the heir, is it Miss Osgood or something like that, so she's like inherit her richness to her monkey. And but then again, at the same time, there are certain like disappointments. I'm the kind of person who probably don't really like sad endings and stuff like that. So sometimes in that movie, seeing the character that I absolutely love die is just it breaks my heart. So honestly, I just feel like, why do you have to do this to me? Like, for example, Edmund and Dolly, like, I love that couple so much, but then again, in the end, it has to end it that way. I just feel like that's so unfair, you know. But then again, like, you know, like, movies got a movie, so it has to be like good ending, it has to be like a bad ending as well. And then the ending that I don't love is probably the fact that Ratched is still alive, and of course she's still and of course the ending that I do feel like the ending that I don't like is the fact that Ratched is still alive, because personally I don't like her. Probably a lot of people don't, of course, because she's like a real you know, cuckoo. Like, she's just twisted in her minds, and she's like doing things that are people are not supposed to do. To me, like, the perfect ending for me would be she just dead, you know, and then probably like the one flew over cuckoo's mind's probably non-existent, and then probably that can be replaced with a nicer nurse. I don't know. But then again, like, you know, this those kind of like good and bad dynamics is what makes a movie great, you know. Like, of course the movie can be all good, like, but then again, like, I like to like dream and just like, okay, all's good. So the total, it has like 8 episodes, but then I do find some episodes a little boring than the other ones. Like, the first few episodes, I think the first 4 or 5, I find them very, very interesting, and then it got me to like keep watching. Like, you know, like, after I watch, I'm like, next episode, next episode, next episode. Like, I don't care. I was at the time, it was like 1 to 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, keep going, you know. Like, next episode, because I want to know what's next. Like, they are so interesting. But then I think like after episode 6 to the ending, they're kind of not that interesting anymore. It's like, no, okay, so okay, yeah, she's still like care about her brother, okay, so what? Like, we also see that her way of loving someone is actually pretty flawed. Her kind of like romantic idea is also pretty flawed. So, and I do find her like really, really weird. You know, the story about her with the tenant at the room 8, so I find that really weird as well. So I do feel like she's actually pretty she's not well mentally as well. It's like, it's pretty ironic because she's the head nurse in a mental hospital, but she is very unwell. And then the fact that the doctor is also unwell, like, he's a drug abuser. So that kind of makes me like, well, that kind of sums up the entire life, honestly. Like, people calling other people being crazy, but actually they themselves are also crazy. Like, we're all crazy people in just one big world. Come on now. The first time when I wanted to watch this series, I was actually kind of imagining it something like American Horror Story, but honestly, it kind of like American Horror Story, but it has a bit more depth to it. Like, American Horror Story is, yeah, like, actually both of them has depth. Like, they truly explain the character, the situation, like what leads to what, like, everything is explained. But I don't know why, but I just feel like Ratched is a little bit different than American Horror Story. I can't really like point a finger at I'm not sure which one that is different, but it just feels different. And of course, the whole Ratched TV series actually reminds me a lot of American Horror Story Asylum. Of course, you know, like Sarah Paulson being lesbian, that's one similarity. Another one is, you know, the mental hospital thing. The mental hospital thing. And then the third, the abuse they done in mental hospital, of course, because I think that the American Horror Story Asylum and Ratched is basically set in around the same period. I don't know, I forgot. I think they're in around the same period where those days, like, people are doing experiments on mental health, and then they kind of thought that mental health can be you know, cured by lobotomy and stuff like that. So that's probably the reason why they have a lot of similarities with the American Horror Story Asylum. And of course, you know, like the nuns and priests kind of theme, that also similar. But then again, of course, they're similar, but they're not the same. Absolutely, I definitely recommend you guys definitely go watch Ratched. It's a really great TV series. I absolutely love it. I hope they have a sequel. Obviously, like if they have a sequel, I would definitely watch it. Actually, I'll watch anything with Sarah Paulson in it. And in terms of like, if you're like scared, if this is like horror film or something, it's not really like a horror film where there's like ghosts jumping out. It's not really like a horror film where there's too much violence. In my opinion, the violence is just around the early few episodes, but after that, like, I don't see that much of violence anymore. It's more like just, you know, drama and there's conflict here and conflict there, that's all. So yeah, if you are scared of the violence, there's like, you can skip it. Actually, you can skip like the lobotomy scene, for example. But in my opinion, they're not really that gross. The grossest scene to me is when Dr. Hanover last time was employed to Miss Osgood and so he tells the story about how he cut the son's arm and stuff like that. That to me is like the grossest. To be honest, like those violent scenes, they're actually very quick, very brief, and they're actually not that much. Like, let's say in an episode, probably it only happens like few times. But yeah, then again, I do feel like the violence is pretty mild in my opinion. I don't know if it's because like I'm desensitized or something, but I just feel like it's pretty mild, and you can watch it without the violence as well. Like, the violence is not really that important plot in the story. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this kind of movie TV series review. If you like this kind of video, like, maybe you can comment down below, and maybe like you can like this video so that I can continue to maybe make more movie reviews in the future. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.